Welcome back to the Joe Miller Show, KOAN Hot Talk 1080 AM, 95.1 FM. We have with us Tyler Truit. He's a U.S. Marine Corps vet. He's locked in a struggle with his local council, his city Huntsville, over his right to live a self-sustaining, off-the-grid, renewable energy-powered lifestyle on his own property. Tyler Truit, welcome to the Joe Miller Show.
Hey, thank you for having me here, Joe.
So you're locked in this struggle. Before we get there, just tell our audience a little bit about your background, and then you can move into why you thought about doing this off-the-grid type living and what you've got on your property.
Well, I first came up with the idea a couple of years ago when I was still in California. I was out there for about 5 years when I was in the Marine Corps, and I had this idea that when I came back, I wanted to have a home that was basically completely paid for, debt-free, and that was self-sustaining. That way I could have a place to live, basically with no mortgage, debt-free, and no bills. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this whole thing.
And so in doing it, you're talking about energy independence as well. What did you do for electrical needs?
We have solar panels and we have batteries that we run our house off of at night. So I've got a good amount of storage capacity, so I can run my whole home off of the solar energy that I collect. And we're completely off-grid. We're not tied into the utility system at all. I can run all my appliances. I have, microwaves, refrigerators, air conditioners, all the same kind of stuff that is in a normal home.
What did you, just out of curiosity, how much money did you invest into the off-grid electrical system you have?
I probably put about $3,000 into it.
That's not bad at all. So you probably use some old industrial batteries for your storage?
Well, we use 6-volt golf cart batteries. They're deep cycle, so they really last have a lot more storage capacity than a regular car battery would, and I just string those together. I've actually got 2 circuits I'm running. One's a 12-volt circuit and one's a 24-volt circuit. So right now I've got 12 batteries in total, which gives me around about 10 kilowatt hours of storage capacity.
That's not bad at all. So you run, of course, air conditioner is a huge amount of demand. You can run that. How long can you go without sun?
Usually we can go couple days. It really, because every day, even when it's cloudy outside, you'll still get some charge and collect some energy. Usually on a cloudy day, you collect about a third to half as much as what you would collect on a sunny day.
So what kind of panels are you using? Are you using the flexible kind or the rigid?
They're rigid. They're 250 watt panels. And I've got 1,500 watts of output power right now. I'm looking to get some more, but I've got 4 of them strung together in series on one of my circuits and 2 on the other one.
And then you've also, in addition to maintain independence, you've got your own sewage system. How about water?
We collect our rainwater off of our roof and use that. It's really clean. I've got a dissolved particle meter. And we've measured the city's tap water. It's about 150 to 200 parts per million. And our rainwater that we got off our roof is about 2 parts per million. So a lot cleaner initially than the city water. And then for safety, if we're going to drink it or whatever, cook with it, we boil it.
Sure.
But, I mean, really you could drink it right out of the tank. It's not really dangerous.
And then you use some leach field for your septic?
It doesn't really have filter. It's kind of like a screen, like netting over the tank, which keeps debris and stuff out of it.
No, I'm talking about your septic side of it. Do you use a leach field for your septic?
Oh, we use composting. One of the reasons we use composting is that I would have installed the septic tank, but we can't get permitting to do that either because the city wouldn't issue us any permits to have our sewage hooked up even, and so. From what I understand, it also would be another violation for us to hook up a septic tank, which I don't know why, but that pretty much left me with composting. I think they're trying to say that that's not we're not allowed to have that either. But I haven't seen any laws or ordinances that would prevent us from using composting.
So you're getting hit with zoning law violations, and you believe that the city is after you because of your independent lifestyle primarily?
Well, I think that's possibly part of it. I just don't think they want people doing their own thing. I feel like they're just going around looking for people to pick on because every time I go go to the municipal court, there's so many people there for just like what seems like frivolous violations. I remember there was another guy there that they had come to his house because he had a flat tire on one of his cars, and he pumped it back up, and they came back the next day and demanded that he then crank the vehicle to prove that it ran. Like, it's just all kinds of silly stuff like that. They really go around looking for people to write citations to, I think.
Well, it's interesting because you don't hear very often about people that are trying to live off the grid within city limits. Most of the time, it's people outside of it. But it really is at a point now, especially with the solar energy revolution, and the fact that we've got, it's still not cost effective per se. I mean, you probably buy your electricity cheaper off the grid, but the degree it's now within the grasp of most people to provide electricity through those means. And the more that you become independent, the less you're dependent on the man. I've heard that put that way before. But if you don't want government in the back involved in everything, this is a great way to do it, except if you're in Huntsville. Because in Huntsville, how long have you been in court now? I mean, this is an ongoing struggle, right?
Well, it's been going on for several months. Like I said, all this started really around about February, around about first of the year. I mean, we had only been here for several months, and then they came and started hitting us with all of this stuff.
Now, and you told me during break that I guess they've even maintained that they have the right now to evict you from the property, right?
Right. We were told that because the day that they came out to issue the zoning violation, they also called community development to come out here and condemn the house, and I asked them for what, and they said it was unsafe living conditions because we don't have city utilities hooked up. And they really didn't even inspect the house. They just assumed that because we have our own utilities set up that it must be somehow unsafe. And they really haven't even shown me what ordinance we're violating by doing that. But they just posted a big condemnation notice on the house, and they told us that if we didn't leave, we would be arrested for trespassing on our own property, even though we own the home and the land. They threatened to do that, but they haven't done it yet. But I guess technically if they wanted to, they could.
So do you have an attorney?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right, and I assume this is a pretty costly battle.
It hasn't been yet. Like I said, we're still waiting to get to the circuit court. I represent myself in the municipal court, and our attorney basically told us there wasn't any sense in having an attorney go to the municipal court because he knew that we wouldn't get a fair trial anyway, which it wasn't. It was pretty much a joke. We went in there, and they knew they were going to say guilty. They wouldn't really even let me present any of the evidence that I had or say what I wanted to say. They acted like they were in as big a hurry as they could be to get to the end of the trial, say guilty, shut me up, and go home for lunch.
Wow. How can people help you out with the costs that you're incurring right now? Do you have any type of website set up? We've got just about 20 seconds left here.
Oh, we have a GoFundMe page. It's Tyler for Liberty. And I would also recommend people check out our Facebook page, Tyler for Liberty, and find out more about the situation there. What I've been asking people to do right now, mostly instead of donating, is call the local city government and tell them that affordable housing and self-sustainability are not a crime.
Fantastic. Tyler Truit, Joe Miller Show, back after this.